Hey guys, it's Venus, and it is December, which announces the end of the year. And this year was a crazy year. Not today. No, today I am normal. I do not drink. I don't fall off staircases. I don't waste money anymore. I live in a two-story house. I am engaged. Uh, I have a I just picked a giant plushie out of a crane game. That was yesterday. Life's good. I'm totally in my lane. But until a couple of months ago, that wasn't the case. So I'm just gonna start by telling you what happened January 2022. So you know how I kind of have a problem with alcohol? Okay, actually that's like an underestimation. I'm straight up an alcoholic, and if people think that being an alcoholic just means like you drink bozo all day long, but I realized like being in like a self-help group and going to therapy, being an alcoholic is like even if you stop drinking, you're still miserable. So you need therapy and self-help groups, which I'm doing, and I feel better. I also journal. Yes, I do that. Although I've been like lazy and recently in journaling, and I definitely feel better on days when I journal. So probably pick that up again. But yeah, it's alcoholism is a disease. Like it's like physical as well as spiritual. Like once you stop drinking, the physical stuff goes away, but the spiritual part of it, the psychological part of it doesn't go away. Like I'm still an alcoholic even if I don't drink. I have an alcoholic mind. And I do crave alcohol sometimes. Um but yeah, that's why I do all this stuff to keep myself sober one day at a time. Now, anyway, recap January 2022. I had a problem with alcohol already at that point, and I knew that, but I was kind of in denial about it because things weren't so bad. Like, I could like do my job and I could pay bills and I could do stuff, but I was pretty miserable inside. Anyway, so me and my fiancé, back then boyfriend, had a talk. I remember like I was drinking Strong Zero, right? That was like my go-to drink. And Strong Zero is like Four Locos in America, cheap, like 90% booze. And I was drinking 4 cans of that a day, 500 milliliter. Yesterday my boyfriend said, why don't you try switching to wine or sake? Because that's real alcohol, and Strong Zero is just like some bubbly water mixed with ethanol, and that's not real alcohol. Drink classy. So yeah, I dropped all the Strong Zero. I kept Four Locos, and I stick to wine, which is even higher in percentage than alcohol. But I told myself it's classy. I'm not drinking cheap bozo anymore. I'm drinking wine. I'm drinking sparkling wine, which actually then ended up pretty much looking the same while I was drinking, because alcohol in the end is alcohol. So I was just like doing the exact same thing, except then with wine. And wine is usually 13% in alcohol, so I was getting way more wasted on wine than I was getting on Strong Zero. And obviously, as an alcoholic, but once I start drinking, I can't stop. So, yeah, I stick to wine, and I started getting like up in the mornings and feel like really irritable and like I needed like a hair of the dog to like kind of get this weird feeling off of me. it's kind of the start where I started getting like alcohol dependency. Anyway, I could quit for like a couple of days and then be like, oh no, I don't have a problem. And then like one day I had like one glass of wine, and then the next day it was three. And as soon like I have no clue, time went by and I was on a full bender, and I can't even remember how long the bender was. But anyway, at this point it just like turned into benders. And I've actually not a lot of, I can't really recall what happened between January and March, except I know that once I drank like so much that I started hallucinating, and I was like jittery all the time, and I was like physically dependent on alcohol. So I tried to literally on my neck off myself, and sorry if this is triggering, I put a trigger warning. And then I don't know, like, you know, when you, some people will understand this, but when you like cut yourself or get injured, you actually get an adrenaline shot. And like, I don't know, when I cut myself in the throat, I just called my now fiancé that he needs to get on the phone ASAP. You know, and that was, then he called the ambulance, and oh my god, that was terrible. I got like, the police came, the ambulance came, and first I had to go to the hospital to get that sewn back together. Like, I have a little scar. Fortunately, it's not really visible. And yeah, first I went to the hospital where they sewn it back together, and then, God, I hate this part of the story. I went to the police station. No, they forced me to go to the police station because I was suicidal, so I couldn't be left alone. And then I spent a night at the police station. I don't know, I took my ADHD medicine, like, you know, Concerta, which is kind of like the legal version of Adderall in Japan. So I was all, I don't know, I was all, whoopsie doopie doo, let's talk. And I spent the whole night talking with my police woman who had to supervise me so I don't do any crazy stuff or run away. I remember I was like behind gates on a bed that was made out of a table. They're like, go to sleep. I was like, no, I can't sleep. I'm literally like, I just took my ADHD medicine, you know, because I thought that would somehow kind of help me, but it, under the influence of alcohol, it made me even more crazy. Anyway, I spent the whole night there, and I kind of already knew a lot of stuff about alcoholism, so I told them I don't drink because I want to, but because I need to. And that was actually true. I wasn't drinking because I was enjoying it, which brings back a funny memory, actually. The guy at the convenience store kind of like already knew me because I always like went there to buy booze day after day. So it's like, hey, wanna go drinking sometimes together? I was like, I don't drink because I want to. I'm sick. Like, I was like offended. Like, and then he was like, oh, but what you're drinking is healthy. It's wine. It has vitamins in it. I was like, anyway, that was just a side story. But yeah, I was kind of high on that Concerta ADHD medicine, and talked the whole night, and I don't know, I fell asleep, and I was still hallucinating. Like, I saw like worms, and the walls were all jiggly wiggly. Yeah, but yeah. Then I really did not want to get hospitalized, but that was something that the police station had to decide whether I get hospitalized or not. And the police station decided I get hospitalized, which was the giant psychiatric ward near where I live. Okay, not that near, but kind of near, at least in my prefecture. So I was there at the emergency ward of the psychiatric ward with all kinds of people. I got put on detox medication. Oh no. I got put on detox medication, and first they put me like in a locked room with a camera, and it looked like a prison. It only had a mat on the floor. Anyway, the doctor came and asked me like, do you know where you are? Do you know what happened? I was like, yeah, like I was totally conscious of what happened. And I was so scared, I just wanted to pretend I'm fine. Like, I'm totally fine, guys. I'm totally fine. I won't do it again. I don't feel suicidal, but they didn't want to let me go. And the doctor looked at me really like with serious eyes and said, you know, we let one guy go out of the psychiatric ward too soon, and he killed, I don't know, people. And I don't know how that connects to me because, okay, I wanted to kill myself, but homicide and suicide, I don't know, maybe. I don't know what he meant by that, but it kind of freaked me out. And then I was, after they saw that I'm not crazy, I didn't like scream or shout or have any psychosis, they put me in a better room, which was also barricaded, and I couldn't go outside. And there was like a lounge, and I could only go to the lounge like where all the other sick people are, mentally ill people. And even I had to ask for access to go to their ward. But then they saw that I'm not Monster Energy. But then I saw that I'm not like that crazy, so I got transferred to the room where I could go like to the lounge, but I still couldn't go outside for 2 weeks straight. No fresh air, only inside in a room with a camera. And that freaked me out, and that was when I was diagnosed with alcoholism, or like as they call it in Japan, alcohol addiction. I just call it alcoholism. But yeah, anyway, I just put up a good front and I did what they said. I participated in programs, and I was out in 2 weeks. But I was still very fucked up. As I said, I didn't drink at that time anymore. I had like 3 weeks sober. Even when I went back home, I didn't drink. And I managed like 2 months sober, but like life wasn't that great because alcoholic mind, you know. I just felt miserable and like, I don't know, some days are, I don't know, it wasn't really living life. It was like most likely depressed, like just browsing Reddit and trying to distract myself from the fact that I exist. Anyway, one day, like, I took the first drink after, like, because I thought I could handle it. And bam, then the relapse happened again. That was around May, June, July, until August. And I spiraled pretty hard. I went back to my Four Locos and stopped drinking wine, and I also started drinking pure whiskey. I don't know why. Like, that's it. Like, if you ask an alcoholic, like, why did you drink? Like, sometimes, I don't know. We don't know. Like, I don't know. I have no fucking clue how this happened. But at that point, I was like, because I was drinking really strong stuff. Oh, my nose is itchy. Oh. I was drinking really strong stuff. And I remember, like, going to the ER 3 times in a week. I had to call the ambulance 3 times in a week because I woke up with heart palpitations, and this is terrifying, guys. Like, I was sick to my stomach. Like, even if I wanted to drink alcohol, I couldn't, and I had heart palpitations. Like, I felt like I could have a heart attack at any time. My hands were like shaking, and the worst part is like the hallucinations. Like, I was lying in bed, I couldn't like get up. I was like half asleep, half awake, half dreaming, and the worst part is these weren't just dreams. It felt so real, and I was like seeing like monsters. I was like thought I was like in hell, where like people, like I saw people that I didn't know in my room, and oh god, I get just shivers just from talking about that. I saw people in my room that I didn't know. It was like peeking into another dimension. It made me believe in the paranormal because that was so creepy. I don't know. I remember like attacking one of the people, but I was like, I thought I was getting up and doing something, but I was just like in bed, like totally like passed out and like seeing things, and that was, yeah, it was pretty bad. Um, Also, my teeth started to get really bad from all the acid of the Four Locos that I drank. So my teeth ouchy very much. Couldn't eat like that. I had to take tons of painkillers and whatever. And anyway, after a while, I got better because I was keeping on drinking, because at that point I had given up, and I had at this point complete physical dependency on alcohol. So I went a little bit crazy, like not in hallucination wise, but in the other direction. So I broke up with my fiancé, and I went out drinking because I thought, well, let's drink at a bar instead of drinking alone in my room. Maybe that will make it more fun. That sounds so stupid. Anyway, I then went to the whole like club scene in Tokyo, and that's when I discovered host clubs, and I thought like, hey, maybe this could fix my depression. Like, so basically it's guys who look like K-pop stars, and the job is to drink with them and sell expensive champagne. So that was kind of my thing, drinking champagne. Now here comes the fun part. The champagne is sold at a very high price so that the hosts can like, they have like number 1, number 2, number 3, blah 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 blah. And the guy that said he liked me was like number 1 of the club. And anyway, I sort of got tricked. So basically, we went, after I was at the house club, we went out to drink even more. And they said, oh, I want to live together with you. So we went apartment hunting, and then he gave me like a Bulgari ring and said like, I'm his girlfriend now. And anyway, I should come to the host club again tomorrow. So I got there, and I don't know, I was kind of drunk, so I can't remember it exactly, but he kind of knew who I was on social media, so he thought I was pretty loaded, and they did this thing where you sell a champagne and then party, and then you pay after that, and there's a time limit. But you can't drink the champagne yet, only after paying. But you can party by looking at the champagne. Okay, now that I'm actually talking about it, it sounds super stupid. But anyway, the champagne costed, guess what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 US dollar bucks. And I was like, wow, that's just perfect. This is gonna cure my depression, because now I'm pressured into working hard and making shit ton of money. This is totally gonna work out. And then I woke up again like super sick, and I was like, what the did I just do? And well, anyway, I got hit on by someone really handsome, and I told him the story about the whole host situation. He said, oh, well, all hosts just do that, like, and that the Bulgarian ring is probably fake, and he has like 100 pieces of rings laying around in his apartment and whatever. So I started to go out with this guy, but the host guy noticed that, because I was kind of there when he called me, and the other guy was kind of there, and he was like, we were video chatting. I know he said turn on your camera because I want to know where you are. And well, I was drunk again, so I turned on my camera without thinking much. And the guy was blonde, so he was like, who's that blonde bitch? And anyway, then he was like, hand me the phone to the blonde bitch. So the blonde bitch and host trap guy called and had a longer conversation. Anyway, he told me I don't have to pay the 50,000 if I can get a lawyer. So I did that, and I went to. Oh no, not I went to the lawyer. I called my ex-boyfriend, which is now my fiancé, and asked him if he knows a lawyer, because he's kind of like kind of pretty well lawyered up. So yeah, I went to go with my then ex-boyfriend, which is now my fiancé, to the lawyer, and we had a phone call, and he's with the host, and the lawyer recorded that phone call, and the host said something in order to blackmail me. So the lawyer was like, if you're blackmailing her, like, she doesn't have to pay you the money. So I got out of it. Woohoo! I guess. Oh gosh, this is cringe. Anyway, so do you see my nice Kuromi top? I know it's cool. Okay. Oh, and yeah, this necklace is kind of out of place. It's heart with Maria inside. Okay. Mary. Yeah. And then it was just my now fiance's boyfriend, birthday. My now fiance's birthday, and we kind of got back together, and we are together since then, and I got engaged, and everything's going pretty smoothly. But I was still sick and drinking alcohol, and I did a lot of stupid shit, like injuring myself, like my arm and stuff, because I wanted to die and stuff like that. Anyway, day, thanks to the mercy of God, I got this idea of like just going to rehab, because I kind of felt like I admitted ultimate defeat over alcohol, and I wanted to fix this, so I went to rehab. I still couldn't function without alcohol, so I was like sipping, like, like while I was in the waiting room to get admitted to my room, I was like sipping Four Locos from a Gatorade bottle, and that was kind of the last drink I had since then. Yeah, Four Loko in a Gatorade bottle at the psychiatric ward waiting room. Well, waiting for getting admitted, yeah, and because the medication, the withdrawals weren't that heavy. I didn't hallucinate. My hand tremor stopped, at least a little bit. It's still kind of but hey, who? Look, no hand tremors. Okay, and yeah, the doctor kind of was really nice. It was a really good experience at the hospital. Since the day I went to the hospital, rehab, psychiatric ward, whatever, I went to 12-step meetings and got a sponsor. I probably shouldn't talk about this, but yeah, you guys know that's like just like if you have a problem, that's an option you can do. And for me, it was very helpful. I got better that way, both physically and mentally. And my fiancé came to visit me every single week, even though it's like a 3-hour car ride away from his house. And yeah, and funny thing is, I was actually the only one who was an alcoholic at this young, at age 25. All other girls were meth addicts. Like, yeah, meth is a thing in Japan. I didn't know that. I didn't even know people were like, I thought like Japan is super strict with drugs, which apparently you can get meth. Every other alcoholic was either an old lady or an old guy. The younger people in the addiction were all kind of addicted to illegal drugs. So yeah, I just have to say I won. I keep winning. I was the only 25-year-old hardcore alcoholic. Go Venus, you win at everything. Just kidding, it was bad sarcasm. But yeah, I came out and then I had some issues adapting to real life, but yeah, it went well, and here I am now. Yeah, just living life. Recently started streaming Pokemon on Twitch. OnlyFans, if you're interested in some spicy stuff. I am updating this regularly as well. And yeah, I do stuff like going to poetry class, journaling, and watching Netflix as a hobby in my free time. Is that a hobby? No, that's not a hobby. Netflix is not a hobby. Is it? Okay, whatever. I go to the dentist. I'm not afraid of things I used to be afraid of anymore. Like picking up the phone when I don't recognize the number, or generally just like what people think about me. Like totally stopped caring what people think about me. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And if I I come up with anything else, then that will be another video for you guys. I look forward to see your reactions to my story, which, was it wild? Was it not wild? I don't know. Reaction please. Looking forward to it. See you soon. Bye bye bye.